everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte. What's up, 49er fans? Jason Aponte with some breaking news. Well, not breaking news. It's what's been breaking out. Deebo Samuel has officially requested a trade per Jeff Darlington of ESPN. And it's obviously sent shockwaves through the 49ers fan base. But when you look at the way things happened yesterday, as opposed to just looking past it, which I did as pretty much just the 49ers planting a seed with Adam Schefter to put that out there that there was an offer on the table and it's Deebo that doesn't want to sign it. Kind of felt like peppering the fan base and getting them ready for what was eventually about to come out, which the brother, now we have found out, actually leaked early and then recanted it once someone got in his ear and said, hey, man, you can't do that. So all of this stuff really lines up with the timeline. So shout out to everybody that's in here. I know it's early in the day a little bit. So, hey, while you're here, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, join the Spicy Squad. There's going to be a lot of content today, a lot of content during the week, and we have something else to discuss now when it comes to Deebo Samuel. So I just want to get to some real quick facts at this point. Fact, Deebo Samuel has requested a trade. Fact, that request is still in effect a request. Fact, Deebo Samuel has little to no leverage, and this feels like a desperate move. Fact, the 49ers do not have to trade Deebo Samuel. Fact, if this isn't done by day one of the draft, Deebo Samuel's not going to be traded this year. Fact, the 49ers have much more leverage than Deebo Samuel. Fact, all of those things are facts. Obviously, you don't want to hear that your star player wants to request to leave. I'm not buying the whole usage thing because his value is predicated on his usage in the way that he's used in versatile ways. So I don't think it's that. I think it's the amount of money that he's looking for, which doesn't line up with what the 49ers have plans for with him in terms of how they're going to use him and the money lining up. So the 49ers probably came to the table with a standard wide receiver number, and he didn't like it. And he understands that they're going to use him in different ways, which is why he feels he should be paid differently. And I'm not going to tell him what he should take, what he shouldn't take. Go get every single dollar that you can, player. That's another thing too, guys. This is a request. The 49ers do not have to honor this request. But certain things are in place to stop this from happening. Let me explain. The CBA, right? The CBA is newly done in about, I think it was 2 years ago. Now holdouts can't happen, and you can't waive the money that is going to be accrued with fines. Used to be that if a guy held out, then all of a sudden everybody can waive those fines, pay them for him, or just say, hey, you know what, that's gone. That's out the window. That was part of the CBA. The collective bargaining agreement was met halfway. You guys get to smoke weed, and we also are taking away from holdouts and things like that. So that's why I don't understand the play right here other than trying to put pressure on the 49ers, and then maybe the 49ers get an offer that they can't refuse, which in turn gets Deebo Samuel paid now, which seems like is more of a priority, and he's not trying to wait until July. Okay? So for me, all of these things are true. And it's not in a good place right now, clearly. I want to know what else is going on that has put you in a place where the 49ers are saying, we are willing to pay you whatever it is that you want, but he wants to be gone. I don't think it has to do with usage. Who knows what's really going on? And any sort of speculation at this point would be just that on my part, which is speculation. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's too far gone. But at this point, these are the facts. He's requested a trade. The 49ers do not have to honor that trade. And if nothing happens on Thursday and he clears the day and they don't make a move for a first-round pick, I would say this. If after the top 15 picks he's not moved, he's not getting moved. I am not trading Deebo Samuel for a late first. I am not trading him for a future first. So if it's not in that first 10 range where someone is going to move and the 49ers are going to be up in that 10 range while moving Deebo Samuel, it's not going to happen. And now you've lost all your leverage because you can't hold out, and the 49ers know that. So you're going to have to come back to the table and play nice. So it's funny how this kind of works out. It feels desperate. It feels very desperate, in my opinion. So let's get to a donation. Paul, shout out to you, bro. Gentle reminder for anyone sending threats to Deebo or thinking about it, stop it and get a life for sure. Whether you agree with what he's doing or not, guess what? That man is feeding his family. And I made the point on Steph's podcast earlier, which you guys should check out, 49 Carats. Steph does a great job. Was what Deebo Samuel is doing is best for him. I would ask anyone who was watching, if you had an employer and they were going to pay you an exorbitant amount of money, what is the price of your peace of mind? Which brings me back to what's really going on and why Deebo wants to get out of here. It doesn't have to do with the usage, because I believe that's the reason that he is so highly valuable and highly touted, and the reason that he wants his money. So I don't think it's that. I think that it's the wear and tear, and he wants to be compensated for that. I think that's it. But he's doing the best that he can for himself. So again, if you had an employer and he said, I'm going to give you a raise, but your boss is a jerk, or the work environment isn't what you want it to be, what's your peace of mind? Like, how much is your peace of mind? So again, I don't know what's going on. And for me, it feels like something else other than his usage or what's going on in the building or anything like that. So we're going to find out a little bit more. But again, I want to reiterate, and I've said it a few times, and shout out to everybody that's in here. We've almost got 120 people in here on your lunch break, it may be, or even close to it. This is a request. It's not good. It's not ideal. Shout out to Croc. It's not good. It's a trade request, meaning he does want to leave, but it's also part of the negotiation process in seeing what is going to happen. It's now turned into a staring contest. Who's going to blink first? Do the 49ers get swept up with an offer, which is why you put this trade request out there? Do you get swept up with an offer where the Jets come to you and they say they're going to give you number 10 and maybe another second rounder or 2 firsts or something like that? And then you have to decide, and then the Jets go ahead and give him his money? That is what he's trying to do. But if none of that materializes, I would tell you, after the top 10, 15 picks, if he's not gone, then he's not going anywhere, because you do not trade Deebo Samuel for a low first, and you do not trade Deebo Samuel for a future first. You bite the bullet, and you guys got to go back to the table and figure it out. So shout out to everybody that's in here, man. And we got some good donations in here. Let's go. Weston, shout out to him, man. 49ers still hold the chip, screams negotiation, pick up leverage after DK and AJ ink their deals. Still a Niner in 2022 for my money. Correct. I'm still going to be with that, but this isn't good. This is another thing people have to figure out too. I think what you're frustrated with is less about the antics of Deebo Samuel, whatever you want it is when you call it. I don't think it's antics. I think this is just the new way that things are being negotiated. I think you're just upset with the way now in the future, this is how free agents are going to communicate certain things, and they're going to use social media as a tool. It's not whether you like it or not, right or wrong. It's how things are going to be done. Social media is the way that these young men express themselves, and now they have found a loophole in a way where they can really get their narrative out there, control their narrative, and talk about the things they want to talk about on there while being in open negotiations. This is just the first time the 49ers have had public negotiations. With George Kittle, we had heard the whispers of how that started and how it worked, but we found out after they signed the deal, the contention sometimes when the first offer came in. Here, this is just something that's playing out in public now, and he's using his platform to put himself in a spot where he thinks it's going to do him. I'm sure his team is behind him with this, and they're advising him in that way. So this is just the way things are going to be going forward when it comes to any of these free agents going forward, and especially when you consider DK, AJ, and now Terry McLaurin, who are in a similar boat right there. So let's see. Tony, appreciate you for the donation, bro. I just want to root for my favorite players. I hope Kyle can fix this situation. Yeah, I think it's eventually going to have to come back to that. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's a request. It's not good. This is not where you want to be, right? Like, you can't shake this off as no big deal, because now what you've done is you put out the bat signal to teams that you want to leave. Now you just have to come to the table with what he's looking for, and then that puts the 49ers in a spot where if an offer that comes across that is something you can't refuse, and you get the 10th pick and you walk away with somebody like Garrett Wilson or Jameson Williams or something like that, you know, depending on how the draft shakes out, I mean, you better get something if he's not going to sign, or if it's too far gone. I am not going to speculate on whether it's too far gone, because I have no idea. This isn't good, and this isn't the right step. I see people equating what's going on with this to Raheem Mostert. Remember, when Raheem Mostert's agent announced that he wanted a trade, it was for Raheem Mostert to be the highest paid running back on the team, not the highest paid running back in the league, which is something that Deebo Samuel is interested in. Whether that happens or not is completely different. But I wouldn't correlate both of those situations just because Raheem Mostert finally they maneuvered some money for him and they made him the highest paid running back. He just wanted to be paid more than Tevin Coleman. Deebo Samuel's in a different position right now at this point, and I don't really think that that's the same thing. So at this point, but yeah, I mean, look, it doesn't feel good. I know people are probably losing their mind right now, but again, this request is just that, a request. The very literal definition of a trade request is a request. Requests can be accepted or denied. And again, there is no leverage for Deebo if the 49ers say, you know what, we're not going to trade you and we're just going to sit here. Now you're going to have to figure out what you want to do. You can't sit out because if you do, you're just going to get fined on fined on fined. And the 49ers hold all the cards in terms of your control. So this is a desperate move to get all of that back. But the 49ers don't have to sign him. They can let him play, and they can franchise tag him 2 times before things like that happen. So again, this is just another twist in the saga. I brushed it off as a no big deal when it came to the social media scrubbing, all that stuff, everything as well. Clearly, this was on its way to being something like this. So I got it wrong when it comes to that. So, I mean, at the same time, I had it 80-20. Now it's closer to 50-50 whether he's going to be here or not. But we're going to know by Thursday. Unless something happens before the presser on Monday. And I would be shocked if the 49ers came out and didn't really have a correct answer. I'm talking about like Kyle and John when they speak on Monday. If they didn't have a strategy or a planned statement to either fan the flames of this or calm it down and try to work to it. So again, we're just finding this out today, but there's still more that needs to happen. And we're definitely not going to know what's going on until I would say the first day, the first 15 picks. After the first 15 picks, you're not going to trade Deebo Samuel at that point. So it has to be a team that's in that spot and will move for him. So let's see. Gammon Brown. Deebo wants to be traded, and I want to be a knight in Buckingham Palace. Deebo has a cap hit of 4.89 cap hit this season. Wide receiver franchise tag is 18.6. And they don't even have to exercise that until he actually hits the market because he doesn't have a 5th-year option. So, yes, correct, Gammon. Again, I don't know what leverage Deebo Samuel has at this point. It feels desperate. It feels like he's trying to put the 49ers in a position that they blink first. But if the 49ers dig in their heels and they sit steadfast with, this is what we're going to pay you, this is what we want to pay you, this is what you've been asking for, we've got the money for you, then there has to be some sort of meet in the middle because Deebo's he doesn't really have options. And the 49ers are not going to trade him for next year's first. That is absolutely insane. It doesn't make any sense. You are not going to trade a player for a future asset. If you are going to trade Deebo Samuel, then it's going to be for a draft pick high in this draft. Not late first, not early second, high top 10, top 12 pick. And if that doesn't happen, then he's in a tough spot himself. So this maneuver, it feels desperate, and it feels like a guy who is trying to put pressure on the 49ers to either meet the money and work out however they want to be utilized, or a team comes and blows the 49ers away and he goes there and he gets paid. So Jersey Niner, Deebo for Jefferson, is it realistic, man? Justin Jefferson's going to want a lot when it's time for him to come up. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll do that because then they have to pay Deebo as well too. So yeah, I mean, I would love Justin Jefferson. I think he's one of the best, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is just where it is right now. Again, a lot of people have issues with the way Deebo's handling this, but I think more and more you're going to find out that more players are going to use their social media as an outlet during negotiations to either keep your name in the news cycle or put pressure on the team and hope that they do something rash right away without thinking or not waiting things out. So I'm not certain how he is going to be, he's going to keep using this. I'm not certain how this keeps going. So again, I'm not trading him for a late round first. Late round first wide receivers, I'm good on. Like, you guys are just yelling that Christian Watson's going to take his spot. I got to tell you guys right now, and you're not going to like it, I am nowhere near as high on Christian Watson as many of you guys are. Many of you guys believe that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase is the ideal model for what's going to happen with Watson and Lance. I don't see that happening. And I think that that's a really weird way of looking at this type of stuff because those guys are different. They played at LSU. I've got concerns of what Christian Watson can do here at the next level. And I'm not going to move Deebo Samuel for the chance to draft Christian Watson. That's not the move. If I'm moving Deebo Samuel, it is for a Garrett Wilson, for a Jameson Williams, maybe even a Chris Olave. Top guys in the draft, like not guys that maybe. Like, I've got Christian Watson later in my rankings just because he hasn't put much out there. And a lot of people, 49er fans, are just enamored with getting them reunited. but he has many things that he needs to work on. And this is not some sort of just like, hey, he played with them for a little while at NDSU. Now let's just move him in. Everything's going to be great. I understand the physical skills are there, but there's been physical guys who can run, jump, all that stuff that don't get it done in the league. I question, can he get it done consistently against better competition? And that's not something I'm willing to bet on by trading Deebo Samuel so you can draft Christian Watson. That, for me, feels more risky than getting a Jameson Williams or a Garrett Wilson. Guys that you can pretty much set your watch to are going to be higher-end wide receivers. I'm not trading Deebo for a question mark. That's just how I look at it, So same thing with like who's at the end? A Drake London, like those sort of guys. Like, yes, they can be good, but I don't ever see them being anywhere near what Deebo is, and that's because Deebo is 1 of 1. But I need a sure thing. If we're going to move Deebo Samuel, you're going to move him for a top 10, 12 pick so you can get one of the top 3 guys. I'm not waiting around to see if Christian Watson pans out just because he played with Trey Lance for a little while. Sorry, guys. I am not as big on him. And the more I watch him, I'm starting to ask myself, what is it that I'm missing when it comes to him? So I don't know. I don't know. It does not correlate. Don't tell me that Watson and him are going to be Jamar Chase and Joey Burrow. That's insanity. Like, you cannot correlate both those things. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what else I can say at this point. I just really had to get this video out there just because everybody is scrambling right now. But I want to reiterate a few points. Again, it's a request. It doesn't have to be honored. The 49ers hold the cards. Deebo right now is being a little bit desperate with this move and hoping that the 49ers blink and it starts to bring more offers to them so they have to consider it more. And I will tell you this, I am sure the 49ers are doing their due diligence on every single scenario, including a trade, including what it looks like if he doesn't show up for camp or if he doesn't show up to play. All of those things are being discussed right now, and they have been for a while as we found out that this trade request has been out there for a little while. So, again, not going to speculate on what's going on. The part that I have a little bit of, I really can't get my head around is this whole idea that he's upset with the usage. He's probably upset because of the wear and tear that usage gives him, but he's going to want to get paid in that way. So I don't think it's usage. And again, if he went to Kyle Shanahan and said, hey, Kyle, can we mix this up a little bit? I'm sure Kyle would like to take the onus off him and wants to keep him healthy as well, too. So that doesn't seem like it's it. There has to be something else that's going on, and I'm not sure that we're ever going to find out what it is at this point. But at the same time, this isn't good. It's still a request. The 49ers don't have to honor it. I'll take some questions, real quick. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. I don't know. This isn't what you want to hear. This isn't great. But in no way is this final, and we have a lot of things that we have to still shake out. The good news is after this week, once the draft is on Thursday, which now 49er fans, if you thought you weren't going to be glued to the first round, you will be glued to the first round now. So again, don't discount the fact that this is going to drum up ratings for the NFL draft. But again, after the top 10, 12, maybe even 15 picks, if he's not gone, he's not going anywhere because I'm not trading him for a late first and I'm not trading him for next year's first. You can't do it. You can't do it. Those guys at the later rounds in the first round, at the later of the first rounds, they have way more question marks than the guys at the top that you know for a fact they're going to be great. For me, I'm going to take out all the risk. What do I know? I know that Deebo's great. I'm going to try to keep him. But if I am going to replace him, I'm going to replace him with these sure bets in the draft. And that would have to come with a top 10 pick. The Jets have 4 and 10. So if they want to send 10 and some other package, 10 is a good spot to be in because you can afford yourself and you're going to get one of those top 1, 2, 3 guys. That's great. After that, I'm not taking any chances on other guys. Like, I love Sky Moore. I've got him at 4. I think he's great as well, too. And he's a guy who is yards after the catch and stuff like that. So, again, depending on where he goes, depending on team needs, it's just I think that it has to be a higher-end pick, in my opinion. So we're going to see how this shakes out. This is just going to continue to develop, and that's it, So, yep, I'm a nervous mess. Tell me 3 wide receivers I need to watch film on that we could take in the top 10. Dylan, Jameson Williams, Garrett Wilson, and Chris Olave. 1, 2, 3. So, but hey, just wanted to get in here. Probably going to have some other streams going up tonight, but I just wanted to give you some initial thoughts, some rapid reaction real quick. So, shout out to everybody for tapping in. Thank you guys for the donations. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, join that Spicy Squad so you can do a call-in show as well too. Should be some shows later on tonight. Traylon Burks is a good one too, as always. Eric's on point as well too. But yeah, for Jason, as the world turns, being a 49ers content creator, you don't have to clickbait for the 49ers. The 49ers clickbait for you. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. And as always, let's go Niners. Don't get too crazy, all right? Things will be all right, I promise. Welcome, everybody. Let's go Niners. My name is Jason Aponte.